What we're witnessing in Palestine is beyond what we can describe here in words. It's the systematic destruction of a people, of human beings, of babies, of adults, of toddlers, of older people. It's the destruction of their homes and their lands and their children, their very future, their dignity and their peace. There's no denying that it's a genocide, and there's absolutely no denying the utter depravity of the Israeli regime and its terrorist IDF at this point. And the horror of all this has been enabled by decades of impunity, and the lie that Israel is a normal democracy is long gone, despite its frequent propaganda claims. It's an apartheid state. It ignores international law, and it shows nothing but disdain for international human rights norms. It's a rogue state, a settler colonial outpost, and should be treated as the international pariah that it is. Yet it still enjoys, despite all the words from all the government party representatives here and all the independent Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael TDs, it still enjoys privileged access to EU and Irish markets. It still enjoys participation in cultural and sporting life internationally and unrestricted travel for its officials and for its military personnel. Much of what has been said here in this chamber and internationally about the so-called deal on the table, it's not a peace process, it's an ultimatum. It's, as Lloyd George would say, the threat of immediate and terrible war. The irony that war is ongoing in any case. It's an ultimatum to the Palestinian people: give up your people's right to freedom, to dignity, to self-determination, and perhaps, maybe, the killing will stop. But Netanyahu's own manoeuvring and briefing makes clear what we already know. The Israeli regime has no interest in any genuine deal. It has no interest in peace. It has no interest in a future for the Palestinian people. And to add insult to very real and grave injury is placing this farce under the guidance of Tony Blair, a war criminal whose name will forever be tied to illegal wars, occupations and the mass killing of civilians. Words are no longer enough, Minister. The government must enact the Occupied Territories Bill now. The delay is a national embarrassment. You should be embarrassed and ashamed for the delay. And it needs to include services as well as goods. Enact the bill, but for God's sake, let's do more. Ireland must impose targeted sanctions, travel bans. We must block the use of our airspace, actually block the use of our airspace, our seas, our ports, for the transmission of munitions and weapons of war to Israel. And we must make it clear that any Israeli war criminal who sets foot on our soil will be arrested and brought to The Hague to stand trial for war crimes. Germany, and I'll finish on this, Germany bears a heavy responsibility here for the impunity enjoyed by Israel. If Germany wishes to add the guilt of supporting this genocide to its collective conscience, let them. They can knock themselves out. But we must not let our morals be bound by Germany's willingness to turn the other way and to allow never again ring hollow. The Global Summit flotilla now approaches Gaza as we speak with food and medicine. If it is attacked, if Irish or EU citizens are harmed, this government must be prepared to respond with immediate political, diplomatic, travel and economic sanctions, decisively and without delay. And Minister, I would ask that they would be prepared now so that they can be rolled out immediately. And if the European Union, blocked by Germany and other countries, will not take action, we must act unilaterally or with other like-minded member states, because we cannot allow this on our conscience.